For 2.5 years, literal blood, sweat, and tears have gone into this boat. We're into month number, 8 already of being on land, and it's just, this is a lot bigger of a project than I think either of us thought it was going to be, and it's just frustrating. As we tore things apart, put things back together, and then inevitably tore even more things apart. But now, after so much work, it's time to get back to the water. Well, kind of. I'm Taryn, this is Logan, and this is Max. Our life rarely goes as planned, and this story is no different. But we are determined to rebuild our beautiful steel boat, even stronger than she was before. And we're bringing you along with us. After Dennis and Terry came to visit us and helped us put on Kiwi Grip, something shifted and we suddenly realized how close we really were to getting back into the water. It lit a fire in us and renewed our stamina. Suddenly, we were determined to get the boat back in the water before the end of May, and that date was coming up quick. But we still had an absolute ton of work to do, and that meant that we were going to have to work our butts off.
Well, today is a pretty exciting day because we have parts for things. So we finally got our bolts for our mast step, so I can put the mast step on today. We also got our keys for our steering arms. Yeah, really technical. This guy. So the keyway that fits in here. And our bolts. So lots of work to do today. Yeah, we'll get into it. Alright, I'm going to put the mast step on, and I'm using 3M 5200 to kind of just glue it down, seal it a little bit, seal the bolts, because it's permanent strength. So yeah, that's what we want, permanent.
Alright you guys, I have something very exciting to show you, and it's not just that Logan is in the hole doing electrical. Let me just get down here. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Flooring! Look at that! We have a whole floor again. Do you see this? There's no more holes. If I step here, my foot doesn't go through anything. If I step there, my foot doesn't go through anything. Now it looks disgusting. It's a giant mess. It's really dirty, but that doesn't matter because it's together and we can wash it. Now, if you come down here, it's a completely different story. These are out just because we were looking at stuff, but that one right there, that one has to be rebuilt. In here, as I fall over, these two areas, they have to be rebuilt. Ow, board just fell on my foot. That has to be rebuilt. That's where the head's going. That also still a disaster. But you know it isn't a disaster? This! I'm just really excited. I don't know if you can tell. Also, that's the last piece back here that needs to go in. And yeah, there's nothing down there that needs to go back in. So that means that we've got a good chunk of the flooring back. We're almost back to having a full floor. This will probably be the last piece that goes in because Logan's doing a bunch of electrical, but there's a step that goes there. The electrical needs to run through there into here. But yeah, awesome. Very, very exciting. Don't you think, Logan?
Super.
How's it going down in the hole?
I'm I'm just trying to find a big enough spot here to put our inverter that meets all of the all of the requirements. So yeah, that's interesting.
Harder than you thought.
Yeah. Big cable stuff now.
Sweet. Getting there.
I have the negative stuff to all do. Find a home for some stuff. And what's the other thing? Oh, the circuit breaker for the alternator. It has to go in here too.
So we have some very exciting news. Something major happened today. Do you want to tell them?
It rained.
It hailed, actually.
No.
That's not it. That's not it.
We officially have a boat moving date. So we're going to the yard on May 22nd.
Yeah, and it's May 6th today, so that means we have like just over 2 weeks to get the last of the stuff finished so that we're ready to go, well, into the water, essentially, minus the stuff that has to be welded on in the boatyard.
Yeah.
So we think we'll probably spend about 10 days in the boatyard once we get there to finish things off.
Less than 10 days.
Hopefully less than 10 days, which means that we might actually be in the water in May, before June. There's a possibility.
Oh yeah. It is May.
It's May right.
We might be in the water in this month.
Yeah. So that is extremely exciting. So this is a huge step forward because there's so many logistics and pieces that go into getting the boat from where we are in this shed to Nanaimo. It's about a 50-kilometer south move. But the truck that is coming to grab us has to drive 2.5 hours north to where we are, then spend about 2 hours loading the boat onto the trailer, and then spend another 45 minutes driving it back south, and then down this terrifying steep hill into the boatyard. So it's quite a bit of logistics just to get us from here into the boatyard, and that's not even back in the water. So the fact that we have that all booked and figured out is amazing. This is not the same boatyard that we came out of, because the boatyard that we came out of is booked all the way into July, but this one is really close to that one. And they still have a lift and everything, so it shouldn't be an issue.
Shouldn't be an issue.
No. They've dealt with the boat mover numerous times. He knows what he's doing in there, so it actually will probably go smoother than it would have at the other boatyard, so that's good. But yes, it is very exciting. Right?
Yep. We got a lot of work to do, though.
We do.
In the meantime. So, gonna take some time off of the paid work to go into debt to make sure our boat can make it into the water. So
that's like the only option at this point. So yeah, it'll be full out from now until the time the boat goes in the water, but that's really exciting because then maybe we'll get some time to rest sometime after that, maybe.
Sometime this year we will rest.
And you guys will see us sailing. That's the best part of the whole thing. Okay, let's get back to boat work, yeah?
Back to work.
So how's it going up here?
It is going
What are you up to?
I am attempting to crimp these lines, but if you could put the camera down for a second and give me a hand, I would appreciate it.
So what'd you do up here, sir?
I have rewired the windlass. Sort of. Mostly. The power side of it. And power going all the way forward. We replaced the cables because they were garbage Amazon Chinese crap. And now they are oversized, tinned, and properly installed.
So what's the deal with the tin?
Tinned?
Why does that matter? Yeah.
So that they don't corrode. Because copper tends to corrode really bad in a marine environment.
So now everything is like up to marine code, essentially.
Yeah, it's all A, B, Y, C, whatever, up to code.
There were a million other small and large projects that we did as well, like building these battery box brackets to keep the batteries off the hull. It was way too hard to film everything as we did it and actually do the work. So we filmed bits and pieces of some of the things and didn't even film any of others.
It's time to start reassembling the steering pedestal. So this guy here, it's a Whitlock Cobra. And there's the rack, the steering rack right there. Meow, meow. And there's the pinion. So I've cleaned up the pinion, got a couple of shims to throw behind it. Have to never seize all the bolts with the marine grade never seize, and grease the rack and pinion gears and throw it together.
If you want to know more details about any of these projects we're showing you, drop a comment below and we'll do our best to fill you in.
Just like that.
Ta-da! How's it going in there, Max? Huh?
Look. Done. For now. This way. There. Last battery in the hole.
Yay! How exciting!
And cables.
So I don't know if you guys remember, but quite a few months ago now, we cut off the arch. And we were planning on rebuilding it originally because we thought that we were going to have the money and the time to do so. But obviously our 6-month project turned into almost 3 years, and in that time, that money that was allocated for rebuilding our arch has gone into the rest of the boat. So because of that, today I'm just going to alter it a bit. So there were a few issues that we had with the arch. The first was that it was too short and we kept hitting our heads on it, and the second is that it's really heavy and it's overbuilt, and we don't need that overbuiltness, especially because it's part of why we keep hitting our heads. And look, a kitty. Aww. He doesn't want to be a boat kitty though. He doesn't want to hang out. We've changed our minds about 10 times about what we're going to do to this thing to make it work better for us. But hopefully the plan that we have now pans out and does the job that we need it to do. I'm going to get at that, probably going to use quite a few discs in the process and cut off some metal. Another fun tip for you. These, which are sanding discs, work so much better than the grinding disc for getting off stuff that needs to be ground. They have some limitations because it's just like essentially a piece of sandpaper, really gritty sandpaper on like a pretty intense wheel. So you can't really jam it into corners and stuff the way you can the grinding disc because it shreds them. But like what I just did, they work amazing for it. It takes everything down so much faster, it's smoother, it's neater. Yeah, highly recommend these. I'm not sure exactly what they're called. I don't know, sandpaper discs, something like that. But yeah, if you can find them and you've got a lot of grinding or sanding to do to make your metal look nice and clean, definitely worth the money. How's it going?
It's taking f***ing forever.
Just because there's so many little ones or what?
Just routing everything. Because none of it was actually routed properly or at all. And it's like every time I go to do something, I have to pull the entire wire from the other end of the boat all the way through just to get it so that it's not completely wrapped around shit. It's stupid.
Annoying.
Yeah. It almost makes sense to just rip it all out and start again, but
not quite.
Not quite. We don't have that kind of money.
Well, folks, we are a mere 7 days away from moving into the boatyard, and we still have so many projects to do, but we're getting stuff knocked off the list. So right now, you can hear the truck. Logan's coming over to weld links onto the legs of our solar arch, the stuff I was working on yesterday. And that's going to allow us to get the solar arch up higher so that we don't hit our heads on it as often, the main reason. As well as so that we can get the solar panels up a little bit higher. It's very exciting and very also overwhelming that we are so close to the boatyard yet so far away still. There's so much work that needs to be done, but it's very exciting. So we're just minutes away from doing the work that we need to do to get that mast down. We've got to take this whole side off, all the plastic, and then move a bunch of stuff out of the way so that we can get the zoom boom in here and get it to help us to take it down. So I don't think I filmed any of us putting the mast up because it was such a gong show. There was a lot of climbing on things that definitely should not have been climbed on. It was very dangerous. I didn't want any proof that it had happened at all, to be quite honest. So I can't show you what it was like going up, but it's going to be cool coming down. Or terrifying. So like I showed you guys, it's up in the rafters. And it's been there for 2.5 years now. We used our lines from the boat to tie it up there, so there's a lot of knots. I'm not sure how we're gonna get it down smoothly. It's gonna be quite the process and a lot of untying stuff, but there's been a lot of difficult things with this job. But the scariest of all the jobs that we've done is definitely moving the boat and the mast to different places. So I'm gonna be very, very, very happy to have that all in the boatyard and have it done with and not have to be bothered by it anymore. Well, we have the mast down finally, as you saw, but it is completely disgusting. So it was up in the rafters for about 2.5 years. In that time period, we sandblasted, we did a ton of welding. There was birds flying up there, there was bugs, it is disgusting. You see this? Ugh, look how much dirt there is, and it's just like caked on. I don't even want to touch it, it's so gross. Ugh. There we go. Ugh, gross. So the entire mast is like that. All the way down. But look how pretty it is out here. Look how green and gorgeous it is. Definitely not the worst day to be outside, that's for sure. Well folks, today might be the first of 2 very exciting days because we are waiting for a phone call so that we can move our mast. So there is a truck mover, not a truck mover, there's a hauling company, I don't know what you call it. They have a big truck and they put a trailer on the back of it and then they load stuff onto it. They're just down the road. They told us that they could move our mast hopefully today, maybe tomorrow, so you know what that means. Once the mast is there, that means that this is actually happening. We are actually moving the boat and we are actually getting close to being back in the water. I can't even express in words how freaking exciting that is. It's just, it's amazing. Oh, it's so exciting. So obviously we have a bazillion small projects left to do still, but oh, we're so close right now. We are so close. So close. Man. And it is always the most stressful and most difficult part, getting this stuff back to where we can actually go back in the water. So the thought of having that done and having the boat and the mast near the water is just such a relief. So fingers crossed it happens today. And then maybe we can take part of a day off and just relax. Enjoy life a little. Maybe? I don't know. But anyway, that's what we're waiting for. And very, very, very excited to have this finally freaking happen. part is getting it up on the trailer now, but it's coming down, he's lowering it, so it should be easier to get it on than it is right now. But yeah. Exciting! Are you the good boy? Yeah. They made it! And it is definitely raining. And a little windy, but look at this! We're in Nanaimo. And the boatyard is just right over there. You got it? So it's done. How does it feel to have that mast moved?
Pretty good. That was a huge thing off our plate now. It's here. And our boat's gonna be here soon. So
Yay!
time to get some lunch.
So what's going on in here?
I'm going to attempt to hook up batteries without blowing us up or catching us on fire.
We have fire extinguisher or something nearby.
I mean, probably. There's two right there.
Good. This is what the smart shunt's telling us. What's the next step, Logan?
Switching on the inverter and setting it up, but I don't know whether I have to set it up. It's got like dip switches and then like two controls, and you program it, each set of dip switches in for different functions.
So you got some instructions to read.
Yeah, it's a lot. I read over it. Anyways, I'm gonna spend the next while reading over this. I can probably turn the inverter on and do it that way, but
Safer not to.
I also want to make sure that it's completely good. Converter voltage.
You're gonna turn the inverter on?
I am.
Alright.
Okay, the switch is on.
Oh. Made a clicky sound.
The inverter is on. Okay, I don't think we have anything hooked up, so we can start setting all of the settings.
Hey, what?
Done!
You're done? For realies?
Yeah, that was easy.
What happened?
Oh, I stopped reading on my side and I sat up to read.
What?
It's really cold down here. Like, I think it's probably 5 degrees. I don't know what it is. It's freezing.
So you're done reading down there, you're not done with the stuff.
No, I'm done with the stuff. I sat up and got warm and ate something, and I was able to make sense of what was going on in the book.
Oh, so you like fulfilled your basic human needs and all of a sudden the world made sense again. Go figure, hey?
Yeah, no, it was actually really easy. There was only like the 2 sets of dip switches, or like, yeah, 2 sets of 8.
What is a dip switch?
A dip switch is a little switch that's either on or off. And you set them to set settings. I don't know. That's it. That's a dip switch.
Alright.
Okay, let's go with main cabin outlets.
Okay.
Ooh, I got a green light. Green lights are good. I got no power though.
Well, the inverter's not on. Oh, you just turned it on.
It is on.
It says we're drawing 2.33 amps.
I don't know why it's not working. Oh, because I popped the ground circuit thing on this. That's why. Maybe? There we go.
Alright. Oh! Look at that! Okay. And what is our smart shunt saying? 2.8 amps now.
And now?
2.38.
So this one should work now. There we go.
2.79. Awesome!
That was a big accomplishment.
That was like, what, 3 weeks?
2 weeks of work.
Yay!
And it's still not over, but I mean, like, look at this.
That's a pretty big deal.
There's no rat's nest anywhere anymore in this boat. All of the wiring is, like,
Pristine.
pretty nice. All I have to do is a little bit of cable organization in there. And finish hooking stuff up.
In there, you mean down here?
Yeah. In the cave.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very awesome. We are how many days away from moving the boat?
Well, we're back to
6.
6 days now.
Well, Logan, we're 2 days away from moving the boat.
We are.
How are you feeling? What are you doing?
I am wiring up bilge pumps and alarms for high water. Like this.
Oh. Well, that's good, I guess.
It works. Yay!
Anything else that we really have to get done before we get into the boatyard?
I mean, this doesn't even have to be done before we get in the boatyard, but it's nice to get it done. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just mostly cleanup. So tomorrow will be a cleanup day. Thursday morning will be a cleanup day. And then the boat will move on Thursday.
So it's the last day before we move the boat. It's pretty unbelievable that tomorrow our boat is going to be out of the boat shed that it's been in for 2 years and back in the boatyard just down the road from where we started. This is a huge moment. We've been waiting a very long time for this to happen. It's been an incredibly stressful 2.5 years, and although moving the boat from the shed to the boatyard doesn't mean that we're done and we're ready to be cruising, it means we're going to be so close. And all this hard work that we put in, all the suffering and the days of just hating our lives is actually going to be worth it. But we're not quite ready yet. So before the boat trailer comes tomorrow to pick up the boat and ship it down the highway, we have to clean out the shed around the boat. We have to take down both of the doors, you know, for the enclosure on either side. So the fun thing about this boat as well, and moving it in Canada with the restrictions that we have, is that our boat is right on the max for height, width, and weight. So every little bit of height matters, every little bit of weight matters. Obviously we can't change the width, but that's why she's completely naked right now as far as like the bimini and the solar arch and all that stuff goes, and why that's being done in the boatyard. And it should be fine. It should be about the same as it was last time. But also we have to make sure that the boat trailer can get in there, so that's why the doors are coming off of the poly tent that we made, and why we have to clean out everything that's around the bottom of the boat. We're 12 hours away from the truck showing up to move the boat. We still have stuff to do to get it ready, but we're getting really close. As you can see, it's almost naked. So, yeah.
A little bit more prep. The boat is ready to go. The shed is almost ready. We just have to move a few things.
Yeah.
So close.
So close. Oh man.
Yep.
So the big day has arrived. We're here at 7 a.m. hoping that the truck shows up today. We don't have a time. We haven't heard anything from them, but that could be a good sign. It's probably a good sign that they haven't changed any plans. So they have the address, they've been here before, but they have to drive 2.5 hours from the very south end of the island to get up here, crossing a dangerous mountain pass and going through rush hour traffic. So hopefully they show up. We have a few things to do this morning. Logan's taking the cradle off that he built right now. Then we have to go tie a bunch of trees back so that the trailer can actually get down the driveway. But we're looking good, so we're pretty much just waiting for them to get here. And then it should actually be happening, which is completely insane. Holy crap! The trailer's here! It's actually happening! After all the issues we had with originally moving the boat, and all the problems that we'd found over the last 2.5 years, it was really hard to believe that the move was going to go smoothly. But you're gonna have to wait till next week for the rest of that story. Thanks so much for watching, liking, and subscribing, and for sticking with us through all this absolute insanity the past 2.5 years. And an extra big shout out to everyone that has helped us along the way with their hands, donations, and patronage. With an extra big shout out to our star patron, John. See you next week.